guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. So today I'm just to talk about the 52-week challenge. If you've ever participated in it, let me know, did you succeed, did you fail? So today's video is basically just talking about reasons why you might have failed when you participated in the 52 challenges, and just some lessons that you can apply the next time you're thinking about participating in the 52 challenge. So welcome. So to begin with, my name is Happy. I make videos on money, personal finance, investing, saving, sometimes on motherhood, the books I'm reading. So if you're new here and you've not subscribed, please do consider subscribing right here below. What is the 52-week money challenge? The 52-week money challenge is basically a challenge, or you commit to investing every week for 52 weeks, which brings it up to a year. So you commit to investing every week for 52 weeks. It could either be you decide to invest a fixed amount of money for those 52 weeks, or you could decide to invest an increasing amount of money for the period of 52 weeks, which is a year. I think the number one reason why people might fail when they want to participate in the 52-week money challenge is there is a mismatch at the frequency in which you're receiving your income versus the frequency in which you want to make your savings. So you might find that you're an employed person, you receive money every end of the month. So in a year you receive money 12 times, but you want to make savings 52 times. So this mismatch is the one that might make you not to succeed in the challenge. I think the best way in which you can solve this challenge is to just match the frequency in which you're making your savings to those that you are receiving your income. So instead of doing a 52-week challenge, why not do a 12-week challenge if at all you're receiving income 12 times a year? If you match them, then I think it's easier to be able to succeed in that challenge. So you can decide, instead of me saving 4 times a month, just save once immediately when you receive your salary, and that is if you're an employed person. But again, if you are someone who is self-employed and you're receiving weekly income or daily income, then I guess if you're receiving weekly income, it makes more sense if your saving goes also weekly. But if you're receiving your income monthly, I think it's just best to align so that you're making your savings almost the same duration as how you are receiving your income. So the second reason why you might fail when you are participating in the 52-week program is because is the way you set up your challenge. I was reading online that some of these challenges mean that every week the amount of money you are saving increases. Of course, I know this is set up so that it can motivate you maybe to find more income, but sometimes it's not realistic. Let's say you commit to investing, let's say 10,000 shillings, let's say we commit to investing 10,000 shillings, but every week you double the amount. So I think if your income is also not increasing by the same level, after a while it becomes unsustainable. Let's say you're a salaried person, you're an employee, you're not expecting your salary to stay double that year, as an example, but you set up this challenge in such a way that you are doubling your savings. In a few months, it might not be unsustainable because you want to double your savings, but at the same time, your income is not increasing. To remedy this, I would suggest, unless you know for sure that your income is increasing, maybe just set a flat rate in which you're going to be saving. And you can just decide, okay, fine, maybe this year I want to save X, a particular number. Then you can just divide it by the number of times you want to make that savings. So I discourage increasing the amount of saving if at all you think your income is not going to be increasing, because after a while it will really become unsustainable and you're not going to succeed in the challenge. So the third reason why you might fail when you're participating in the 52-week money challenge is that you do not have an emergency fund. And an emergency fund is basically a fund that you've set aside in case of an emergency, something you do not foresee coming, and if it happens, there's money that you've set aside for that purpose. So maybe you get an accident or something of the sort that you did not foresee coming. So I think another reason why you might fail if you are participating is because you didn't have this fund. So you've been saving, and then suddenly month 3, an emergency happens. An emergency happens, you did not plan for it, so you end up taking some of the funds that you've been saving so that you can sort that emergency. Yeah, so of course I think the best way to remedy this is for you to have an emergency fund. Experts recommend that you should have about 3 to 6 months of your living expenses as an emergency fund. So the fourth reason why you failed when you participated in the 52-week money challenge is it was not automated. You had to do the savings yourself. It was a manual process, so that's why you might not have succeeded. Maybe some people set up in such a way that, okay fine, they have to come take the money physically, maybe to the bank, or do a transfer to that particular account that they're saving to. I think it's just better to automate. Set up a standing order. If you're investing in your bank, just set up a standing order that maybe every week or every month deduct this amount of money from my account. The more the process is automated, the more chances are that you're going to succeed in the challenge. And the fifth reason why you might not have succeeded when you participated in the 52 challenge is that the money was accessible. It was just easy for you to go and get the money and use it for something else. I mean, if you're really serious in participating in a challenge, you just have to make it in such a way that it's not accessible. Even if you really need the money, you cannot access it. And that way, after 52 weeks, you'll discover that, oh, okay, I was successful because you could not access the money. So yeah, earlier on I talked that you should automate it, maybe put in a standing order. In the same way, you can also open maybe a separate account that you cannot withdraw, or there are some limits to withdrawing. Because it will not be accessible, then it's easier for you to reach those goals. So that's all, guys. Those are my thoughts in why you might have failed when you decided to participate in the 52-week money challenge. Let me know, guys, whether you've ever participated, and if you did, whether you succeeded, and what are the lessons you learned after deciding to participate in the 52-week money challenge. Please leave your comments in the comment section down below. If you like this video, please don't forget to like it here. And if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Bye.